On Thanksgiving Day, the small town of Plymouth is rocked by a terrible tragedy. Several people are killed in the local supermarket as a result of a trampling caused by holiday sales. A year later, a group of young people, who provoked the tragedy by sneaking into the store before its official opening, receive threatening messages, and those residents of the town, who were especially brutal in this incident, begin to die one by one. We all know that a spoon is good for dinner, and if Eli Roth had made a full-length Thanksgiving about 15 years ago, following in the footsteps of the fake trailer of the same name, included in the cult horror feature Grindhouse, it could have been a very different movie, much more badass. But there's a silver lining. Even though 2023's Thanksgiving obviously had to cut corners, it's still one of the best slashers of recent years, easily beating out the sixth installment of Scream, while comedy horror flicks like Totally Killer and It's a Wonderful Knife look in comparison like children's matinees. If for some reason you do not know who Eli Roth is, then we will explain. This is an extremely talented horror maker who, however, stumbled so often that many genre fans have already given up on him. Roth started his career in movies with the criminally underrated Cabin Fever and the first two parts of Hostel, but then he suddenly began to meander. First with a sluggish cannibal horror, Green Inferno, then with a satirical thriller Knock Knock, then with an unsolicited remake of Death Wish starring Bruce Willis. Thanksgiving is his first feature-length directorial project in 5 years, and it's based on a 2-minute trailer for the non-existent slasher of the same name that Roth came up with for Robert Rodriguez in Quentin Tarantino's horror extravaganza Grindhouse. The trailer was shot in a thrash aesthetic, carried to the point of absurdity, and was memorable primarily for its murders, which were equally vulgar, brutal, and stupid. For the full feature, Eli Roth remade at least 3 vivid scenes from that very trailer. We won't spoil them, but if you take most graphic of the 3, the murder of a half-naked cheerleader jumping on a trampoline and landing in a twine on an obligingly placed knife, you'll see how much has changed in the genre over the past decade and a half. But Roth honestly did his best to provide his movie with a killer dose of sadism, embedded in a cleverly conceived mystery thriller intrigue, which also unfolds with absolutely virtuoso dynamics. If it weren't for the weak ending, which is, sadly, quite typical for slashers, this would be Eli Roth's best movie. In any case, Thanksgiving deserves admiration at least for the opening scene of The Holiday Crush, which brings back memories of the opening scenes from Final Destination franchise. Moreover, its effectiveness and creepiness is not only in its graphic deaths, but in the fact that there is not even a villain with evil intent, just a crowd of greed-fueled, but very ordinary people. This is quite a wise conclusion from Not the Kindest Slasher. Just be human, if you don't want to turn into a roasted turkey on the holiday table.